And we're back. La Revista Binacional.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys?
So let me introduce myself. My name is Carlos Antonio Flores. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I am so happy to be part of this project. I am one of the co-founders. Originally started with this project a few months ago, and it has taken off like lightning. Let me introduce you guys to Gina Dewar.
Hi, guys. My name is Gina, and I am so happy to be here, Carlos. Thank you for having me. And not just having me here, but also inviting me to this amazing project that has us all very excited.
So Gina's being modest. She is a co-founder, but she's also our chief editor as well. So let's talk about a little bit what Gina does within the organization. Gina?
Well, I think that my main purpose of being here is content-wise. I love living in a binational geographic area. We're strategically located in a binational place. So that gives me so many ideas that I want to bring to the table and bring you guys at La Revista Binacional. So do you know what binacional means, Carlos? Can you explain to me that?
Binacional?
Binacional.
Binacional. Okay, what is binacional? To me, there's like an actual definition, but then there's like a personal definition, right?
Okay.
So when I think of the word binacional, it means that you understand two different aspects of the border of the culture specifically.
Okay.
So there is definitely a culture, and if we're talking about where we're at geographically, we are located in San Diego, California, that borders Tijuana, Baja California. So that is a unique culture in itself. There is a binational culture. There is a binational culture. And what I feel La Revista Binacional does is highlight the uniqueness to this region, whether it's food, whether it's the people, culture, customs. And it's not just particular to Mexicans, Mexican Americans, because there's so much diversity in the region, even diversity down there in Tijuana that maybe a lot of people may not know about. Maybe you want to speak a little bit about that, the different type of nationalities that are down there.
Yes, of course. Being binational means, of course, meaning two national countries. So here in the United States, we know we have a lot of different immigrants from different places, and that's what makes us a great country. But also in Tijuana, we have a lot of people that come from different countries. There's people from South American countries, Central American countries that have, for one reason, emigrated from their country and landed here in Tijuana and all the border region. One particular one is in Mexicali, where I'm from Mexicali, by the way. So there's a whole a whole very large population of Chinese colonies that emigrated a long time ago, and that is something that will be featured later on in La Revista Binacional. So there's a whole chinesca, that we call it, in Mexicali, where people from China that came to the United States and ended up in Mexicali, which makes Mexicali the greatest city for Chinese food. And I mean, one of the greatest things in Mexicali is Chinese food. But no, yeah, in Tijuana we have so many different people coming, especially from, as I said before, Guatemala, Colombia. We have people from Canada. Even the United States is also traveling and merging and buying homes over there in our Baja California region.
Yeah, quick story on Chinese Mexicans, and then on the there's a lot of expats. So I've noticed a lot of people that are from the United States but retire down in Baja California, whether it's Rosarito or anywhere else down there.
Valle Guadalupe is also a very big place right now for people retiring.
So I've noticed. So what's going on with Valle? Because I've seen like the last decade in particular that there's been a lot of people moving down there, a lot of wineries, and what's going on?
I think social media is to blame on this, because people are now discovering what we in Baja California have always known. We have an amazing place here. This region, so similar to the Tuscan region in Italy, and the grapes, the vines, and the wine that is produced. It's our European part of Mexico. So people with social media, influencers coming over, concerts and stuff like that, people from all over the world are now looking at Baja California, especially that region, for great wine and, of course, the best culinary experience you can imagine. The best chefs are over there. And people, especially here in the United States, California in particular, it's less expensive to buy homes and to buy property over there. So people are looking that way to invest, Airbnb, whatever they're investing, and hopefully in the future retire what they're buying right now.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So, okay, so I'm a Mexican citizen. I'm also a United States citizen. So I imagine I could buy a property down there as a Mexican citizen.
Yes,
but what
of
if I
course.
wasn't a Mexican citizen? How would I buy a property down
Well,
there?
you're lucky that I know a lot about real estate. I'm also a real estate agent here in the United States, Texas, New Mexico, and California.
That's a good plug. I like it. I like it.
But now with my broker, we are also emigrating now to being a brokerage down in Baja California and, of course, all of Mexico. As a U.S. citizen, if you don't have a Mexican nationality, we guide you through the process of, we don't let go of your hand, and we take you to the legal experts in Baja California. We form what they call a fideicomiso, which is kind of like an escrow kind of trust. And then that way you are able to buy property over there. It's through lawyers and everything's super legal and transparent, and we guide you that way. We're also looking into having financial, being able to financially get credits in the United States to buy properties.
Oh,
over there.
nice.
Yeah. So that's a
So you can use like your
really
credit
cool.
score from the United States to help you buy
Yeah,
property
it's
down there.
actually it's called border cross investing. So money from the United States, banks from the United States, they actually lend you the money as a U.S. citizen with your credit score, with your credit history, to buy properties over there. So that is something new we are trying to really push and make this a binational thing, being able to buy properties in both sides. Because on the other way around, Carlos, I also have foreign nationals from Mexico, from Colombia, from Brazil even, buying properties here in the United States. We guide them through the process with foreign national loans, etc. So they know exactly, especially tax-wise, what to expect when you buy property here.
Yeah, you don't want to get surprised.
No,
And a lot of them, because obviously the laws are different.
Yes, of course.
From a tax. So, but the good thing, it sounds like you guys hold people's hands throughout the entire process.
Yeah, both ways.
But you know what's cool, and this is where I think where La Revista Binacional comes into play, because highlighting that dual nationality of being able to come in and out and understanding those cultures and being able to help people on both sides of the borders.
Yes.
So I think when I think of La Revista, that's what we'll be highlighting, is getting this type of knowledge into people's hands where they can take action and have a better lifestyle, or just enjoy some of the ability of going to these different locations.
Yes, of course. Growing up here I've always been.
So where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Nogales, Sonora.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a border girl. So I was born there, born and raised till I was like 11. Then I moved to Hermosillo, but only for a couple of years. Then went to Mexicali, another border town, and grew up there, got married, moved to El Paso, Ciudad Juarez, so another big border city. And then eventually things happened, and now I'm here in San Diego, Tijuana. So I've been around.
So you always been around in some kind of border.
Yes, I know. It sounds like a series on Netflix.
Yeah, la
telenovela waiting to happen. But you know what? That has helped me a lot to really know both countries, both cultures, especially. I know your Seinfeld episodes, and I know every episode of La Rosa de Guadalupe, which I know people are going to laugh at this, but I know both cultures like perfectly well.
Yeah, and I think that helps. I'm assuming when you're editing the stories and kind of making sure and selecting which stories make it to the magazines and which ones don't. So that I believe that understanding both cultures to be able to give them content that there is going to be relevant and they're going to find value, I would think.
Yes, of course. You need to know how to write in English for English-speaking natives, like forever speaking English. And you also have to know how to write for Spanish-speaking people that have always spoken Spanish since they were born. We do have the Spanglish, but we'll see if we put that in the Revista Binacional. The Spanglish language, which is also so popular here, and I mean we're used to it.
Well, I think because of the influence, but also like, all right. So I grew up in Los Angeles, that has like a big population of Mexicans. And if I'm not mistaken, Los Angeles has the highest population of Mexicans outside of Mexico City.
Yes, it's a second metro.
So Spanglish over there is like, it's just like people speaking Spanish. But I would say once I moved down to San Diego and I started going more to Tijuana, I noticed that a lot of Mexicans do not like
Los pochos.
Los pochos. speaking the Spanglish.
I know.
So
yes.
they said, wait, if you're gonna speak something, speak something. But as somebody that like yourself that could jump into both cultures and language like invertly within sentences, like you didn't really give a second thought.
Exactly.
But I also understand. So how is La Revista gonna manage those expectations of those readers or those consumers?
No, but we're gonna be very careful of. Spanish is such a rich language that we're gonna perfectly write it, and the grammar and the spelling, everything has to be okay. We do use like some words that like parking or I don't know some.
Troca.
Yeah, no, troca. Well, we would always like put those on like on parentheses or some or italics, so you know that we know it's not a Spanish word, and vice versa in English too. So I think we'll be okay with that.
Well, the other thing is I want to make sure that our viewers understand is there's also going to be an audio component to this magazine, if I understand correctly.
You know what? That has been something that has me super excited and super happy. We decided, Carlos, to record our articles both in Spanish and in English. So that has opened a whole new window for us. We are working, and we're in work in progress to being compliant to those visually impaired. So I have been speaking with a couple of organizations here in the United States that, are for the blind, the visually impaired, as they like to be called. And also in Mexico, I am going to start talking to other organizations that, this will help them out a lot because they're used to having audiobooks and audio material. But imagine giving this to people who are visually impaired, the opportunity to know what's going on where they live, where to go eat, what's trending topics, what's going on, who's being successful, what to do, or just any news, you'll be able to hear it. So I think that is something we just gave the Revista Binacional a good cause.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And as soon as I heard that idea, I knew it was like a home run. Like this is good. It's good for multiple things because helping the visually impaired, as well as because people consume information in multiple different ways.
Yes.
Some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like to touch and do things. But this is another way because I know myself personally, if I'm on a run or if I'm driving, I can also hear these articles, right? And consume this stuff in a different way. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, you don't have to be like, legally visually impaired to enjoy this because a lot of people get like dizzy when they're reading their podcast. They like to hear it, especially at the gym. And as you said, driving, we get hit by traffic, the rush hour. So it's a good thing to have the Revista Binacional in an audio format that you can catch up to what's going on here.
So then we're talking about some of the topics that the Revista is going to be covering. Maybe you can highlight what are some of the ones that you're working on.
Well, we're going to work on a lot of topics. It's going to be something for everyone in La Revista Binacional. We're having our economy section, of course, which is real estate in both sides of the border, investments, and, currency, what's going on with inflation, money-wise, etc. We're having education as a big topic too. There are so many binational programs that people don't know about. As a Mexican or as a foreign national of the United States, how can you get, help and student,
Can you give me like one example of one that you can think of?
Like how to, like FAFSA and stuff like that. There's also a lot of tuition aid that can be, and grants and a lot of programs that people don't know that are out there. And just being like a first generation student of college, you can get a lot of help because that's so proud. It should make your family proud, and money should not be an object for you not to go to college.
Yeah, and
so
get an education. But there's also a benefit too, if I understand correctly, where you can get your education down there and get credentials to work in that field over here, correct?
Yes, over in Baja, there are certain institutes and universities that if you study over there, you get credentials to the United States too. So that's a super amazing binational program that they have. It's an interchangeable students, and that way you get more binacionales students that will learn about studying in Mexico, and also Mexican students studying in the United States, which makes it an amazing thing to have.
Yeah, I have a friend currently that she's going to school down there to get her nursing degree. She waited for years to get into a program down here, and they were just so full. As we all know, that those are good careers that people want to be in, so there's a big demand. So she just said, you know what? I'm going to go study down there. And that's kind of what she's doing. And I believe she only has like a year left.
Oh, wow.
But her goal, she lives in San Diego and commutes down to Tijuana to go to school.
Well,
So
you know what? You just mentioned it yourself. Commuting is also a big thing of Abu Dhabi Nacional. Our border, how many visitors does it get a day crossing both?
imagine a lot.
Imagine that. I mean, so there are going to be stories about living in a border, the day-to-day things we see, things we don't see, people that, success stories of people that have made it through every obstacle and are very successful people. So I'm very excited about that part of the Revista Binacional also. We're also another big thing, and as you well know too, is the medical tourism here in Tijuana.
Yes.
We have so many amazing doctors getting people from all over the world, but especially the United States. They go over here to Tijuana, Rosarito, and Mexicali, and get amazing personal treatment, and they're very happy. So the medical tourism here in Mexico and Tijuana is a big section of our Revista Binacional. We have some doctors already on board, and we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I think that, if we take it back a few years, we've seen how much the economies depend on each other.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we think, it's just United States citizens or residents going down to Mexico and spending money.
Mm-hmm.
But when the pandemic happened, there was a huge gap in regards to the money that was flowing to San Diego from people from Tijuana that come down here to San Diego and spend their money.
Yes. No. Yeah. Of course. That's a very important point right there. We have the tourism going both ways is amazing. Not only medical but also leisure. People come over here for a lot of shopping, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of fun stuff to do, and they also go to Tijuana because the food's great over there.
I try to go at least once or twice a week to get some taquitos.
Exactly. Yeah. Tacos and the service, everything's super good over there. So that's also going to be a huge part. Of course, immigration and all the legal issues, like what to do if you're a foreign national in Tijuana and you get stopped by a policeman, stuff like that. Legal advice that people in Mexico can give to tourists, and vice versa. We're also having sports. Sports is going to be a very important section of our Revista Binacional. We have amazing teams here in both sides of the border, soccer teams, baseball teams. We also have the hockey team, basketball. Hopefully expanding all the way to LA and getting both Southern California and Baja California on board.
Before we jump into the regions that La Revista is going to be in, talk to me about if it's free and it's me. If it's free, it's me. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Well, you know what? I've always loved getting to know what the happy hours are and where to get free stuff here in San Diego. San Diego can be an expensive place to live. I came from Texas, and the shock was like, oh my gosh, why don't I have any money anymore? And then I realized I was spending a lot on restaurants and like a tourist. So now that you live here, you can you have to make a budget and stick to it and see what there's so many amazing free stuff to do here in San Diego. Not only the beach, but we also have a lot of cultural concerts, art, like what's it called? The chalk the walk, where you go and paint. We have amazing art galleries that are free, museums. There's so many things. So then we decided here at La Revista Binacional to have a section called If It's Free, It's Me. Also in Tijuana, si es gratis, es para mí. I mean, it was just like a simple translation there. It doesn't even rhyme as much, but but I mean, you get the point. We are going to promote whatever's free that's fun. We should just put it in La Revista Binacional, because when you're crossing the line, or if you're in a long line and you want to get here to San Diego, you want to know where to go and not spend that much money on entertainment. Like, if it's free, let's go there. We save money and we have more money to do other stuff.
Nice. So your background, you've been in San Diego for the last few years, but you've always been in a border town. What are some of the differences you notice from the different border towns?
Well, like, I was born in Nogales, so it's a small town, but you know what? It's like I don't know. It's like a packed with maquiladoras, which is factories. You know how that goes. Foreign countries invest in labor and everything in Mexico, and then export back to the country, especially the United States. I also lived in Mexicali, which is very similar to Tijuana, but smaller, like smaller size, even though it's the capital of Baja California. Well, it has its charm too. It's so peaceful and people are, I don't know, it's very different and I love that. It's culturally very different than Tijuana. Tijuana's more like a larger city with people from all over the country and all over South America and also the United States.
I think it's like the third largest city in Mexico. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's close to the second one now. Yes,
yeah.
It's been growing. It could be. Yes, and I'll check that data for you. But I was reading that Tijuana's percentage of growth of the last census than of that of 10 years was like it was a city that grew the most in Mexico. Yeah, and it shows. I mean, you go to Tijuana and it's a big metropolis feel. It's like the skyscrapers and all the buildings and all the tourists and so much movement that, I mean, it's amazing for the people that live here. Traffic wise, we need to talk about that with the
I think there's gonna be a section that Revista for traffic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to like really sit with
especially
the government.
Like border wait times and everything that
you know what, a ver, presidentes and gobernadores, what's going on. So yeah, because we will need something for the traffic because it's an amazing city. The weather's perfect the whole year.
Yes.
So that's Tijuana. And then in Juarez, well, it's a whole different, state where you cross to the United States. Texas is super different than California, but wow, the beef, and then there's also a lot of maquiladora, and it's so beautiful. The people are so nice over there and so happy. So I really enjoyed Juarez, and I really enjoyed El Paso.
So, Revista, do you envision one day being in those other border towns as well?
Oh, yes, of course. That's one of our biggest projects, like not medium, but in the long run. Being in all of those cities, because I've been getting calls from friends over there like, what is this Binacional thing? I mean, we're Binacional too. How can we help? How can we participate? So I've been telling, especially friends and relatives, you know what, let's just wait for us. Yeah. We want to really launch it here in San Diego, make the California's Baja and California a strong point, and then eventually like move to Arizona, Sonora, which I have a lot of relatives over there and friends that are interested, and then going all the way to Texas, all the way to Tamaulipas and the Gulf of Mexico. The term binacional, I mean, it's really catchy, and a lot of governments and officials are calling us and saying, what's this about? How come you have this domain? Why was it available? Why didn't anybody else register it? So I think we were lucky, Carlos, to have that name available, and I mean, it was just something we had to do.
No, we have to give a lot of credit to our other co-founder. He's not here with us right now. He's more of a camera shy person, but he's actually like, I told him he should run for mayor of Chula Vista, because everybody runs it. But his name is Rafael Garcia, and it was his idea with the name, and then I looked it up myself, like, oh, it's available. Let's get this.
Yes, Rafa is an amazing, person to work with. He's a great part of our team, and, he's so much experience, especially with the media. He's worked everywhere, and everybody knows him, and everybody likes him, so that's his strong feature and a great part of our team.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, over 30 years in media marketing. So he definitely understands, one, the public, and two, how to help advertisers get their message out to their audience.
Yes, of course. I mean, he's an amazing person, and the vision he has when he's selling our product, I even want to I'm like, you know what?
I'm part of it, but I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, but I want to be a part of it like a little bit more. Why? Because he delivers what he promises. So that's something that I really have to acknowledge about Rafa. He, whatever he's telling you he's gonna put in La Revista or whatever, he always finds a way to deliver. That's why people trust him so much, because we've been, having people on board La Revista Binacional, and the product hasn't even launched yet. So that tells you a lot about what the people see in us. And I guess it's just the professionalism, your vision, and of course, Rafael's strategy to, knowing so many people. I guess we are making a good team and a good combination. And also mentioning, of course, our amazing team we have in Tijuana, and of course here in San Diego, those behind the scenes creative artists we have. working and programming and content creators. I love the team, really.
Yeah, I think somebody once told me teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
And I bought into that, and I 100% believe in it. But I think that's what also helps the Revista Binacional is having that dual binational team
Exactly.
working, collaborating with each other like hand in glove. I think it's amazing just watching them work together because they understand on the cultures that they're trying to highlight and the stories that they want to be putting out there. So I think it's pretty cool, and I think we are very fortunate to have a pretty good team.
Yes, and you know what? I also want to mention that having them certified with the Meta,
Yes.
that's amazing.
And Google.
And Google. So they are certified designers.
Yeah, media marketers.
Media marketers, and they are certified with Meta and with also Google. So that puts us in a higher,
I think it helps us understanding, one, because the algorithms are always changing. There's always something new that they would keep you on your toes. So the fact that they spent at least one day studying with that within the working hours to make sure that they're crafting their skills and they're getting stronger at what they do, then I think that helps them, which ultimately helps us, which allows us to help our clients.
Yes, of course, because we know we can deliver a product that's going to be like with the utmost quality, and that's something that really less stress for us as we're advertising and selling our product, that we know we have the team to back us up.
So I only have a few more questions because I know it's late in the day.
I know it's been
It's been a long day.
We're good. Well, it's only our introductory.
Yes. Yeah. So, question one: what has been one of the challenges that you did not expect with launching this magazine?
A challenge.
Okay.
Well, I think it's been smooth sailing. Of course, I've been worried about getting content, and time wise, time has been. I'm having so much fun, and we're doing so much stuff that I wish days had like 40 hours instead of 24. But I'm now learning to be more organized and relaxed, and I think we will be able to meet deadlines. So that's the only thing that always worries me, especially being in a magazine or launching something. And as in real estate, time is of the essence. There's always a time that you need to meet certain things. So I guess that's been a challenge. Starting with getting organized, what we're gonna do first, and then having a timeline. That's been my biggest challenge, but I think I'm good.
Yes. And what is one thing that you feel that you would have expected it to be harder, but in actuality has been easier?
I think people trusting us on what we were bringing to the table. As I said before, and I told Rafa, let's just do this like whenever I'm selling a house that hasn't been built. And I just show them the plans and where the lot would be, and then the pictures and how the landscape is gonna be, and the colors and everything. And people, say okay, I'm in. I thought it was gonna be a little bit harder, but then getting to know Rafael, and then getting to know, of course, yourself, such an amazing entrepreneur. I really admire you, Carlos.
Thank you.
For everything you do. I knew it was gonna be an easy. I had to say yes to you guys.
Nice. Well, appreciate it, and I'm glad you did. So,
Yes.
With that being said, what is one thing you want people to know about La Revista Binacional?
La Revista Binacional, it's going to be a platform that will unite not just businesses of both United States and Mexico, but also communities. I mean, we are one big community, and it's in the word. We commute. We go to this and this side of the border. There's so many stuff that we don't know about Tijuana, so many amazing stuff that we don't know about our Baja California. And people that come over here, they usually go to the same places. There's so much that San Diego and San Diego County and even LA County offers that that's what La Revista Binacional is for. We're going to inform you guys of where to go, what to do, how to invest, and how to grow your business in both sides of the border.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to working with you guys as a team and learning and growing. And I think La Revista Binacional is definitely going to highlight a lot of people that are like us, that want to continue to learn and grow and understand what's going on in their community.
especially that we're going to be inclusive to everyone. Everyone will be able to read us, hear us, and if you ever want to come here for an interview, Carlos and I can really ask you amazing questions about whatever you do.
Perfect. Well, thank you. That wraps up our episode number 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned. We're going to put more content out there. This is one of many. And we'll love nothing more than to hear from you guys. Comments, all of them are welcome, even negative, to be honest with you, because those actually give you an opportunity to improve what you're doing. And honestly, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we put the best content out there to keep our audience informed, entertained, engaged, and inspired.
We're also open to hearing what you want to hear. Like if you have a specific topic you would like for us to really investigate and talk about in this podcast, we would be more than happy to give it to you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, thanks, guys.
Oh, and remember, you know what? August 1st, we're launching our digital magazine online.
We didn't even get to talk about that, about the print version. Let's talk about it. Yep, we'll edit this.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, keep him on the edge of the seat? Okay.
On our
Okay.
next episode, like las novelas.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Honestly, that wasn't intentional, but that was good.
I know.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. And that's a wrap. No se grabó.